Welcome once again to In the Hot Seat with Deborah Fennella and
Tom Bryant. Hello.
Hello, wherever you are in the world. We're really excited to be back here in the studio.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has actually, isn't it? Well, since last year, Tom, isn't it? I think the last show was back in October.
Yep. So welcome to the show, everyone.
Most definitely. Now, we're really excited because we've got a very special celebrity here on the show this evening. And he's also a really good friend of both Tom and I as well.
So it is, yeah.
And we can't wait to interview him, actually. So normally it's him interviewing everybody else, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. The tables have turned on this one now.
They certainly have, so we're going to have lots of fun today as well. But we're really blessed and excited to interview. He's not only a Grammy Award winner, he's a singer, a songwriter, and a humanitarian. He's worked with many, many celebrities, including Stevie Wonder, Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin, and Celine Dion, also linked with the Titanic. And he's also a music ambassador and the founder of Music for Global Change, the wonderful Skyler Jett. Good evening, Skyler. How are you?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Fine, thanks. How are you?
Good to see you.
Feeling blessed with no stress.
Good.
That's really good. We've been really busy because we've just done Music for Global Change and now we're doing In the Hot Seat Live, aren't we?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, we get around everywhere.
Fun never stops, does it, Skyler?
Yeah.
It certainly doesn't. And Tom's got loads of questions he wants to
I've got
ask
loads,
you.
yeah, all sorts of
So I'm going
them.
to let him ask you the first question, Skyler.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Go on then, Tom.
Okay, Skyler. Skyler Jett.
Yeah.
Can you give,
On the spot.
if possible, two major highlights of your illustrious career?
Oh, wow.
But I'm going to limit you to just two. There you go.
Two of them.
That's not fair, just take
I know he's had so many. It's going to be difficult for him to
Oh,
find.
Skyler. I think that's really neat.
I've got other questions, but that's just
Yeah.
the first one.
In
Go for it.
1982, I had the pleasure of replacing Lionel Richie as lead singer for the Commodores. And I traveled to 36 countries doing that for a couple of years. And then 1998, I got a Grammy for singing on the highest grossing theme song for a film of all time, My Heart Will Go On, with Celine Dion.
Which is amazing. I'm so proud of you.
Fantastic.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And it was a huge
Thank
hit
you.
as well, wasn't it? Because I mean, it cost them a fortune to actually make the movie. And they never realised how successful the movie and the song would actually, go when it actually hit the headlines. And it did, didn't it? It just really took off. And that song is phenomenal even now, many years after the movie. So please tell us how you got involved, in the Titanic movie song, please.
A dear friend of mine is a producer, Walter Afanasieff, got a call from James Horner and Will Jennings. James Horner was the music supervisor for the film. And what happened was it's a really lucky situation. What happened was James Cameron, the director, really didn't like vocals in his movie, right? And so James Horner and Will Jennings, who wrote the lyrics, they said, let's try it on him anyway. Let's try a song. He didn't like singing in his movies. He just wanted the music. So they called Celine Dion over to the house, and she sang on the song. And then they got James Cameron on video camera and played it for him. Not only did he like it, he said, I'm going to make it the cornerstone of my film. And the rest is history. But at that time when we were singing on it, we had no clue it was going to be the number one, song.
Thanks, Skyler. Did you have any idea it was going to be as massive as it was?
It was. It was in the charts for many, many weeks, wasn't it? How many weeks in total?
Oh, wow. Okay.
How many weeks in total, Skyler? Was it in the music charts for number one? It did go to number one, didn't it?
Well, Walter said, when we do, he said, they're trying to do this Titanic movie again, right? And I'm like, okay, right? And he didn't know it was going to be that big. Celine didn't know it was going to be that big.
No.
And then it turned out to be the number one theme song for a film of all time. So it was the highest grossing theme song for a film of all time. And I'm really lucky to be on that.
And how many times have you watched the movie? I know I must have watched it a good 12 times now. It's one of those movies you can watch it over and over again, and it always makes me cry at the end. It's just so sad, isn't it? How many times have you watched it, Skyler?
I've only seen it once, right?
Have you? Did you go to the premiere?
Sorry?
Did you go to the film premiere screening of it when it first came out?
No. I went to go check it out, but they the producer took us all to go see it. But my favorite movie was Amadeus. I love that movie, and then I went to Salzburg because I'm a big fan. And I went to Salzburg, and I actually went to Mozart's house where he was born, and the last house where he lived before he died. And a dear friend of mine, Patty Austin, who is Quincy Jones' goddaughter, she was performing in Germany. And she said, "What are you doing, Skyler?" I said, "I'm about to go to Salzburg because a friend of mine is the biggest vocal teacher there. He teaches for all the Univision singers and stuff like that. And he called me over there for a Christmas party. And then Patty Austin called me and said, 'What are you doing, Skyler?' I said, 'I'm going to Salzburg.' She said, I'm tired. I don't want to fly all the way back to California. So I'm going to come hang out with you.' And she did. She came out, hang out with me for 4 days. It was just amazing. And we went, I went to go see his house, most parts. The place was amazing. Yeah. Wow.
That's amazing.
So,
but also, you've written many social conscious songs, Skyler, haven't you? Because you are a music ambassador of the peace, to bring more positive change to this world. And I love everything that you're involved in, to be honest. And I'm so proud of you as well. Both Tom and I are. We love to support you. But we also would love to hear what sort of guide you down the path of social conscious music. In the very beginning, please, can you tell us the reason why you sort of was guided down that path?
Yeah, in the 80s, 1984, I replaced Lionel in 82 and 83, but I went back to Alabama and wrote a song with Ronald LaPrade, who was the bass player for the Commodore, the original bass player. And he wrote the song Brick House and another song called Zoom. Well, he got me involved in this song. And we wrote a song for the poor kids of Alabama, for the state of Alabama. And the money was going to go to, to help with their college tuitions and stuff like that. And it's really wonderful because we wrote this song and the governor got involved. And they played our song simultaneously on every radio station across the whole state. Right,
really?
which was really exciting, and we were on TV that night, And then the next day, when I'm leaving to fly back to Hollywood, I had all kind of posters under my arms and stuff from the night before. And when I got on the plane, I got a standing ovation.
Did you? Oh wow, that's fantastic!
Can you imagine walking on the plane and people, and so I'm passing through. I'm passing through the first class, and I see Alex Haley. Alex Haley wrote the film Roots, was a big series in the United States, Roots. And I said to myself, "Oh man, that's Alex Haley." Whoa, like right. And there was a seat next to him, and because everybody clapped for me, they set me right next to this movie. It was all the way back to California, so it was just wonderful. The perks when you try to help people. And then I started writing more social conscious songs after I found out how good that felt to help other people with my music, right? Yes. And so I started writing about the environment, women's empowerment, cancer survivors, racism, and it's been wonderful because I'm not talking about myself. Matter of fact, you guys are showing one of the songs I love. It's called "Think Green," about the environment. And
wow.
Yeah.
We can actually hear a little bit of it. Salima, is it possible that we can actually hear a little bit of the song?
Yeah. You can. I'll send it to you, right? And
yes.
And
so Salima might play in the clip now, so we can hear it.
Wow. Huh? Oh yeah, we'll play it. I'll get it played. And then There's another song I wrote called "What About the Planet," and we're talking about global warming in that film, right?
Yes.
And I love writing social conscious music. I know the power of it, and so I go out and do speaking engagements and talk to young people about social conscious music. But when I'm talking about it, it just kind of goes over their head. They're like, man, social conscious music, that doesn't sound exciting, right? Right?
Yeah.
Until they see my videos. And when they see my videos, they go, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
It's wonderful when a young person calls me back and say, hey, Scott, I've written a social conscious song to help the world or to bring peace or make somebody laugh and have fun. And I'm
Yeah.
going to pass that on to my friends, and that's what I tell them. You know, if I'm passing this blessing down to you, I want you to pass it down to somebody else.
Most definitely. And I think it's wonderful to encourage young musicians to write social conscious songs. And the lyrical
Yes,
content, like you said, music can save the world. And I think just in that lyrical content in itself, it sends a very poignant message out to this world, because people now want to hear more positivity. And what better
that's
way
right.
than through music for global change? I mean, one of your missions, Skyler, is, once we get some sponsors, is to do music festivals, isn't it, Skyler? Across the
Yes,
globe.
because when I did some research, there's 192 million social conscious songs, right? And you know, if there's already people doing it, then we need a platform for it. And that's why
Mm.
I've created 20 years ago. I created Music for Global Change, but it's starting to grow now, which is beautiful. And thanks to you guys for
Oh, you're
helping me
welcome.
push it
You're
out there,
welcome.
because
It was something
uh,
that needed to
uh,
happen. So,
It certainly did. It
it,
was great.
it it really is. It
mm.
really is. And while they're playing my song One
They
World,
are,
right?
aren't they? One World. It's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
fantastic song.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
this one.
And I wrote that with a brother from Ghana, Africa. Uh, and the cool thing is he's singing in his language, right?
Mm.
So here I am, from California. He's from Ghana, and I produced the music reggae. So there's
Yeah.
three different elements going on in the song, right?
Yeah.
And and it's what we could do. We could do. We got to use
Mm.
music to heal and educate.
You certainly can, can't it? Because also, when we do the music festivals, what you would like to do is ask people to donate a pair of shoes.
Yeah,
And, quite often with us ladies, we have loads of pairs of shoes in our wardrobe, but also men do as well. And when people come to the festivals, what's kind of like people is to donate a pair of shoes, give them £10 off their ticket. And then
yep,
those shoes will then be shipped across to third world countries where,
yep.
the people can't even afford a pair of shoes, and also the children as well. And another one of your missions, Skylar, isn't it? Is to ask people to donate musical instruments that they no longer use, or contact all of the Rotary clubs as well and ask if they've got any sort of musical instruments from loved ones that maybe crossed over even that they no longer use, and then donate them to single parent families for children that would love to learn an instrument but they can't actually afford it. Which I think is just so wonderful, but also
Mm.
helping the homeless, like you said, and ask people to donate food and clothes. So, it's such a wonderful mission, under the umbrella of Music for Global Change, because you're going to be supporting and helping so many people across the globe, during these festivals. And also you're looking for sponsors, aren't you, Sarah, at the moment as well, so we can actually make these festivals. So please tell us a little bit more about these sort of sponsorship.
Yeah, you can also bring cans of food, so we can so we can give it to homeless, out in the streets, and we can do so much by doing concerts. We
Yes.
can bring stuff so we can pass it on to others that's in need, right?
Mm.
And plus, just to teach the young people how powerful music is and why we need it and the benefits of it.
It certainly is. And I think music does bring people together. And like you said, when we do the music festival, it's going to be all about peace and love. If you go back to Live Aid with Bob Geldof, there was no anger or hatred or negativity. It was just peace and love. And the whole world came together. And that's where Music for Global Change, is going to sort of come to the forefront, isn't it, Skylar? Because, you hope to do music festivals all over the globe, but starting off in London as well. Once we get some people stepping forward who would love to sponsor music for global change, and you can get involved in many ways, to actually sponsor the movement, and we'd be truly grateful, wouldn't we, Skyler?
Yeah, and join our Facebook page, right?
Yes, on
And
Facebook,
and
Instagram, Twitter,
yeah,
LinkedIn, YouTube.
and and turn this on to great writers and artists that perform social conscious music. When we start doing these festivals, I want it to be really wonderful and out of sight, because just the talent to have people come out and perform uh, music that's going to heal us, right? But at the same time, I want you to come out and dance. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And have a
Eat
good time. Yeah.
eat
have a
good
good time.
food, yeah, and have a good time, right?
Mhm.
And
And what we'd
so
like to ask all of the viewers, if you've got any questions you would love to ask Skylar this evening, please feel free, and we will ask Skylar direct for you. So, please participate in this discussion, and your feelings of music for global change and how we can make a difference in this world and bring positive change, through the gift of music, because music can actually save the world. So we'd love to hear from you, all of our viewers, and any questions that you would like to ask Skylar, please feel free and comment below on Facebook if you're watching this evening.
yeah, that's wonderful. Like, you know, with festivals, right? Uh, I want to go to different countries, even where they speak different languages, right? And grab people that write social conscious music in different countries, and have world jams together, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be
It,
fantastic.
it, it could, bringing people up from different countries, and we all jam together at the end of the night, and
That's awesome.
it'd be a lot of fun. It'd be a lot of fun. Yeah,
It's certainly worth to see if
yeah.
there's any questions. Not yet. So once again, if you've got any questions that you would love to ask Skylar, please feel free and write your questions below during this live feed, and we can ask Skylar for you as well. So we'd love to hear from you, the people, the viewers, and love to hear what you would like to do to sort of help us support this movement. We'd be so truly grateful as well. So any questions you'd like to ask about social conscious music, how to get involved in writing social conscious songs, or producing them as well, we would love to hear from you, which would be fantastic. Now, Skylar, I mean, as a child, you started singing in church, didn't you, by the age of 10, and then you fell in love with jazz and R&B, and by the age of 13, you was performing on the stages all over for SF Bay Area and traveling up and down the northern states of Canada. Just out of high school, you moved then to New Jersey for 3 years, gigging up and down the coast, which is
Yeah.
really exciting. But you was opening for superstars like Bruce Springsteen. And following those formative years on the road, you turned to rock music and fostered your talents as a songwriter as well. And in 1980, you moved back to Hollywood. And then in 1982 to 1983, you placed Lionel Richie as a lead singer of the Commodores, touring the world and performing in over 32 countries in a 2-year span. And then you later moved back to the Bay Area and soon became one of the finest first call session singers, recording over 2,000 songs with variety producers. And then in 1998, you landed the gig of a lifetime, singing background one of the most well-known theme songs of all time, My Heart Will Go On, with Celine Dion, for the Titanic movie. Another
Yep.
movie you've also been included in is Best Dad with Bill Cosby, A Smile Like Yours with Greg Kinnear, Tap with Gregory Hines and Sammy Davis Jr., License to Kill 007 with Gladys Knight, and Big Bully with Rock Moranis and Tom Arnold as well. And the list goes on. You've also worked with Whitney Houston song I'm Every Woman. I love that song, it's fantastic. But also for the film of The Bodyguard. So I'd love to hear about that, Skylar, as well. How did that happen?
Oh, so wonderful. I mean, I
Was
worked for a big time producer back in San Francisco, and he was doing a few songs on the Bodyguard album. Although I've sang on like 3 records for Whitney Houston, right?
Did
And
you?
Barbara Barbara Streisand and
Oh, I
you know
love
just
Barbara Streisand and Whitney.
um,
Amazing, wasn't she?
Tom Jones and just
Oh,
and I've sang in other movies, and I've sang on a lot of commercials and stuff like that. Well, you guys call them ads over here or whatever, but
Yes.
I did that for a long time. It's like,
Did you?
and it's so much fun.
Yes.
You ever see Smokey the Bear? Remember Smokey the Bear? Oh boy,
So,
that wasn't over here. Smokey the Bear is like this bear with the forestry, trying to tell you don't start fire.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
remember Smoking Mo? Yeah, I used to do those commercials. Like I used to do commercials for Toyota and just so
Yeah.
many.
Yeah.
Hey, you make a living, keep singing, right?
You've worked with, as we've just mentioned, you've worked with so many and been on stage with so many different artists. Is there anybody that you haven't yet worked with that you'd love to work with that is, on your wish list of artists that you'd love to work with?
I don't listen. The last 20 years, I don't even listen to the radio. So I don't know all of the modern artists and stuff like that. Like when they call me to come sing, I go sing, and then I keep moving. I don't
Yeah.
know a lot of the culture, the new artists today.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, the last 20 years I've been concentrating on social conscious music, right?
Yeah.
So I stay in my lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
I don't go I don't listen to love songs anymore.
No.
I'm married, so I don't have to, I don't have to, you know. Uh, uh, but I love just getting out and creating new music, right?
Mm.
yeah.
Recently, 8 weeks ago, I had a heart attack, and so
Yeah.
now I'm
Yeah.
writing a song about that experience, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not the only one never had that had a heart attack, and
Mm.
you get a second chance on life, and
Yeah.
so just like when you walk down the streets and you pass flowers, I don't do that no more. I look at them, go
Mm.
smell them, right? It it means something to me now.
Yeah.
Wow, they playing my song, my homeless song. This is a calling. That's really cool.
Oh,
Thank you.
wonderful song,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it? It's
yeah,
a good
yeah,
song.
yeah, yeah. So like I said, just traveling has been the most wonderful thing to me.
Mm.
Just to go around, fly around the world and meet people.
Yeah.
Uh, I've never been to a country where people didn't love music, so
Cool.
I'm safe. I'm safe everywhere I go.
Yeah.
you know.
Most definitely. And I'd love to ask you, Skyler, who was your inspiration growing up as a child, that you really looked up to as a social conscious performer themselves, please?
Well, uh, my mom, my aunt, and my grandmother were gospel singers, right? And my dad left my mother when I was 6 months old, so I don't know what it feels like to have love from two people at the same time,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I just figured my arms is moving, my legs is moving. I can make it from here, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so music has taken me everywhere. It's introduced me to a lot of beautiful people, right?
Mm.
And I love the community of music, right? And
Mm.
so that's why I became an ambassador to travel the world and introduce people to other people that play music, right?
Mm. Mm.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, we can.
you bring people together, don't you? You connect people together. And I think it's just so beautiful. And they inspire one another and support one another to write social conscious music and produce social conscious music. Now, some of you may be wondering, what is social conscious music? Now, Skylar, please could you explain to all of our viewers what social conscious music is if they're not of that understanding, please?
It's consciousness with melodies, right? It's but for me, I write happy music, right? I don't try to write sad. There's a lot of social conscious songs that have a sad nature, right? I don't do that one. I
No.
like positive. I like positive music. Like I want to make you feel good, you know. And even with my song, so this is a calling. I'm just showing we have to. These people need help. They just you know
They do.
they had a disadvantage in life or something. There's there's astronauts and lawyers and stuff like that that had misfortunes and stuff like that. Or what if there's an earthquake? You lose your house. You're homeless, right? You had a fire at your house. You lose your house. You're homeless. It doesn't necessarily mean your economic status, right? Any one of us could be homeless in a matter of minutes, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that as human beings, that's when we got to step up and, and
Mhm.
and help people stand. Yeah. That's what we can do with music.
And what I love about you, Skyler, is you're very much about bringing people together and togetherness. And we are all one at the end of the day. And also against racism and re-educating the people to be more kind and supportive of one another, and to bring more peace to one another, but also to this world as well, because peace is the answer, and to stop all bullying, because unfortunately bullying does continue, doesn't it? Even today, and it's to bring the positive changes so people wake up consciously and be the change that they want to see in this world as well. It doesn't take many people to make a difference, but it's the acts of kindness and being kind to one another and supporting one another as well. We can all make this difference, and you certainly do with all of your songs, Skyler, and you do phenomenal work, and I'm so proud of you. But one thing I would like to ask you is, out of all the amazing songs you've written, which is your most favourite?
Uh, it's always the last one that you write, right? It just,
Is that the
I
one you're
mean,
writing at the moment? Keep it real. Is it that one?
yeah. It's called Keeping It Real, right?
Yes.
But one of my favorites is a song I wrote called Equal,
Mm.
and that's about abolishing racism, right?
Yes.
Uh,
That was for
the
Shelley and Kieran, wasn't it? For Mukul
Yeah,
magazine.
yeah,
The
yeah.
song.
That's right. That's right. But this is our shell. No matter what color your shell is, or
Mhm.
you know, um, it's who you are inside, right?
Mm.
It's so
It's,
true,
Yeah.
it's
isn't
like
it?
it's like my grandmother told me. It don't cost nothing to be nice,
No. Kindness is away
right?
from us, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. And so if you're nice to another human being, that's the way they're gonna treat you normally, right?
Yes.
Some people have mental disabilities and stuff like that, right? So they just pissed off at the world. But you know, I remove myself from that.
Mm.
When if I go into a negative situation, I make a U-turn, right? I just don't. I can't hang. I only want to be around people that love other people.
Yes. You're like me, I'm like that.
Yeah,
And peace is
yeah,
the answer, isn't it, Sky? Like you say, let's support and be kind to one another, not constantly try and hurt and be mean to one another. It's all about kindness, isn't it?
that's right, that's right. And it's just like they're trying to start a war right now in um what was it? In Russia's trying to start a war with Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ukraine.
And it's so
okay.
sad, isn't
I, I,
it?
te-
I've been praying
I,
and sending
I,
healing.
I tell you what. Why don't you, the two people that want to start the war, why don't you go in the room and work it out? Because
Yes.
you shouldn't be harming everybody else just trying to make
No.
right.
Yeah.
And they calling that collateral damage. Well, I ain't got nothing to do with you guys being mad at each other, right?
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing to me. You want to go harm people just because they don't think the way you think, right?
Yes, that's so true. It's all about compromising as well and agree to disagree, because as humans, not everyone will think or act or behave, the same. We are all unique. We are all, unique in our own ways at the end of the day. But again, it's all about seeing people through the eyes of love, not through the eyes of judgment at the end of the day, isn't it?
Well, I think go put all the negative people, all the pissed off people on some buses. Take them, send them to another planet. We'll be fine then. Now we can
Yeah.
have some fun with each other, right?
Yes,
Right?
Yeah.
but also pray for those in disharmony. I'm a spiritual person myself, and I'm always sending out healing prayers to those in need, because there's a lot of people in need of healing at the moment as well. So, all prayers are heard, aren't they? In order to make a difference in this world. How are we going to change the world if we don't pray for those that are in disharmony? To bring more peace and love and understanding. So, I think prayer is also very important.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
think about this particular song, Positivity,
Very
Skylar.
positive, isn't it?
Yes, so positive.
Beautiful.
stay positive.
Yes.
all the time, 24/7, right?
Yeah.
I wake up and go to sleep positive.
This is good.
Yeah.
I do my prayer at night, and I thank God for letting me go through this day.
Yes.
You know, for the nurture that I got, for my shelter. Bless my kids,
Mm.
protect and guide us all, right? And I look forward to tomorrow. You know what I mean? I mean, you could, and the thing about it, even though we do the same thing, get up and wash our face and brush our teeth and all that stuff, the same thing, but it was something about that day that you were supposed to learn,
It's all
right?
about lessons, isn't it, Skylar?
Yeah.
And every day is a
And,
blessing to create something new and
yeah,
magical in
You
your life
learn
as well,
something
isn't
new
it?
every day.
But we never stop learning.
yeah, that's right. And so I look forward to tomorrow, even though I don't know what's going to happen. You can
No.
write in your diary, this is what I'm going to do, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen, right?
That's
You
true.
know, I wasn't planning to have a heart attack, but I had one, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I stayed positive, and now I'm nursing myself back, and I'm ready to get out there and start performing. Uh, it's really been hard for me doing social
Mm.
conscious music because there's a lot of promoters that don't want to take a chance on it. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, it's too, it's like the news. Like I said, when you watching the news, you don't see nothing good. They ain't telling you nothing good.
No.
But there's
Mm.
there's a
So,
lot of people out there's a lot of people out here doing beautiful things for each other, and and they don't get noticed.
Yeah.
And we need to change that. A lot of people out here trying to help somebody else out. We need to go celebrate those people while they're alive, right?
we certainly
Don't
do.
don't wait till they die and go, hey, that was a great person. You're always trying to help people. Do it while people are alive, right?
Yes.
Mm.
Which is so
Yeah.
true. I mean, what positive change would you like to see in the world? I mean, I know I would like to see more peace and love and understanding in this world, and the people really come together. And I think during the pandemic, it was just so lovely seeing people caring and being compassionate towards each other and checking on their neighbours and going out and getting shopping for those vulnerable people. And it was just so beautiful. I think where we was all in the pandemic together and all in complete lockdown, that we really opened up our hearts and started caring about each other and about the communities and that. And long may it continue. And I think that's just so important. And what change would you like to see, Skylar? You know,
I I, I would like to abolish. I like to abolish racism,
yes,
age discrimination,
yes,
and image. We got to take that out of music. The way
yes,
you
yes.
look the way you look has nothing to do with the way you sound.
No, it
Mm.
doesn't.
Nothing.
No,
And age discrimination. I don't care if your finger is 80 years old or it's 10 years old. When you hit the key of C, it sounds like the key of C. It has
yes,
nothing to do with your age, right? And racism is the most stupid thing that mankind has ever invented.
it
And
is. Yes,
Yeah.
because both of my grandparents are interracial couples, and we're talking. My grandfather was born in 1899. He married my grandmother when in 1918, and she was 13. Her family's from Africa. His family is French and Choctaw Indian, American Indian, right?
oh bless you.
Mm.
Love is love, right?
Certainly
Has
is.
nothing. If you fall in love with somebody because they treat you beautiful, who cares what color you are, right?
Mm.
So true.
And then my grandmother on my father's side is Irish, and her she's Irish and Cherokee Indian, and my grandfather on my father's side is Ethiopian. So that goes to show you, human beings get attracted to each other. They're
They
not.
do.
They don't care about the color thing if you're attracted,
Mm.
right? And but
Yeah.
but all these people want to judge you because of your color, and we have to stop that.
Yeah.
Love is love, right? The
It
thing, the
is.
good, the good thing about it is, uh, there are more mixed couples now than there have ever been. You know, because some people are starting to accept it. It's just people that have that, like, oh, that you guys shouldn't. They want to judge you. Oh,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be together. Well, my grandparents got together in 1922. They was here before you was even born.
Mm.
Yes.
But yet you want to tell somebody, nobody shouldn't be together. So we have to stop that.
We certainly do. We all stem from the star system, Skyler. Anyway, we all come from the same place, don't we? So, you know, at the end of the day, peace is the answer, isn't it? And to be more kind
all day, every day,
towards each other, every day of your life. You know, and you never know who's in need. Just bearing that thought for somebody, you know, and the more kind that we are, the quicker we're going to change this world and bring more peace and love and understanding.
Peace, that'll solve everything, right? If we just get, you know, people they want to have a family and enjoy themselves while you're here. You know, if the body lives to 100 years old, that's remarkable, right? The last thing you need is stress, right? Or for us to stress somebody else. You know what I mean? So I mean, to be able to have a family and just go and enjoy yourself and go see the world without having to worry about negativity or, you know, just stuff like that. But so I teach that. Go enjoy yourself. Find a way to enjoy yourself. Go, you know, that's what life is about. Wake up tomorrow and go, hey, you know, I'm gonna go have some fun. If you say that yourself before you start, you're on your way from there, you know.
You certainly are, like you say, and we can easily replace that negative thought by replacing it with a positive thought, can't we? You know, this is another one of your songs, Skyler.
That's Toxified. I wrote this song as a theme song for a friend of mine. She's a doctor. I wrote it for her movie called Toxified, right? And she's talking about 5G and GMOs, right? These are all man-made things that can harm you. And so that's Nikisha. Remember we had Nikisha on the show?
Yes, we did on the show. She's singing.
She's singing with me in that tune right there. But so you got to be aware of everything that you eat, everything that surrounds you. You know, but whatever you do, pump out positivity. You know what I mean? Just I don't have time for negativity. I don't have time to be around negative people, you know.
No.
I really don't. That drags on you, right?
You say that's a thing down as Skyler, isn't it?
Yeah. So I go out. My whole thing is about positivity and how can I go spread some more love tomorrow.
Yes. And just like that song, Skyler, what have you done today to make people proud? Because, you know, when we actually do so good for somebody else, we feel good about ourselves, don't we? The fact that we're actually helping somebody else less fortunate than ourselves, that is in need, and giving them that lift, because you never know what they're going through on a day-to-day basis in their lives. So just thinking and being compassionate to their needs. And whether it's listening in ear, you know, or helping them across the road or carrying their shopping, you know, it's a form of act of kindness, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, right now I'm writing a song. I just wrote a song called "Nobody Knows Their Name." Right.
That's a beautiful song.
And I'm dedicating it to Earth Angels. Right.
Okay.
Well, like okay, say your car flipped over and it's about to catch fire. Right. It's that one person goes and grabs you and pulls you aside.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they get up and walk off. So you never knew their name, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have all these scenes in the movie. Like there's a woman having some lunch in a restaurant, and her wallet drops out of her purse, right? And she sees the bus and she runs to get on the bus. Well, somebody grabs her wallet and runs to the bus and give it to her. Well, you never knew their name, right?
Yeah.
If you're in New York and there's a lady in a wheelchair and she's sitting at the corner waiting for the light to happen, that one person that comes put the umbrella over that woman's head all the way across the street, and he just walks off. You never knew their name.
No.
So those are Earth Angels, people that go and help somebody, and then they walk off, right?
Yes. It's so
We
true.
need more. We need more of that. And that in every country you have nice people like that, right?
We do, and they do it not because they want to be acknowledged. They do it because they genuinely want to make a difference in this world and help those in need. You know, kindness is definitely the way forward, isn't it?
Yeah.
What changes would you like to see in the world, Tom?
Well, very much like what you said. I mean, an end to racism and just ill feeling generally, kind of, because there's so much ill feeling around with, well, in the news today, as we've said, you know, can't people just get along? But, it's unfortunately often not that simple, or at least it appears to be by certain people that it's not as simple as that. So, yeah.
We should have a channel or a show like that where people that just go do beautiful things for somebody and don't ask for nothing from
That
you know
kind
what I
of
mean?
Yes, acts of kindness. It's funny because I did that in my show, my TV presenting show at Primal Studios, and it was called Loving London Pride. And I went out the London
Yeah.
streets and I was doing acts of kindness, and I was just going up to complete strangers and handing them like bars of chocolate and food. And I went up to a homeless guy, and he was really hungry, bless him. And I gave him
Yeah.
a sandwich and some water for his dog and a drink for him and some chocolate. And he had tears in his eyes, and he was so truly grateful. And I was so blessed he allowed me to have him in, the actual show reel. He gladly wanted to promote more awareness about homelessness as well. So I think it's just lovely being out in the community and helping people, because
Yes.
again, it's like that ripple effect. Once you do it, it will encourage others, thinking, "Hey, I want to make a difference. I'm going to help, whether it's one or two or three people today." And then say to those that you're helping, all I ask is, can you go and help one, two, or three people today? And then before you know it, everyone's thinking about each other. Aren't they?
Yeah, see, when I go out and do speaking engagements, a lot of times for the young people, uh, all I do is ask them, listen, if I'm going to give you this information, I want you to go pass it on to somebody younger, right?
Yes,
And that's how we keep it going, right? And
most
we
definitely.
go, we got to keep the tradition going down too, because there's somebody that was old down to us, right? And we have to do that ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, put the computer down. Go actually talk to somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you
Yes,
when you texting people, it can get misconstrued, right? And I want to hear your voice. I want you to say something to me that's going to change my life, right?
yes.
And we need to do more of that too. So I'm having fun at it. I look forward to it every day. You know,
This is wonderful.
yeah,
And we love that song One World as well, because again, that just sums it up, doesn't it? We are one world. And
that's
it's
right.
that positivity again, isn't it? And bring the people together, all races, all religions, all countries. We are one world at the end of the day. And it's sending that
We
point message, I think, anytime.
Yeah.
we
Just
we
looking
all
at
do
some
the
of the
same.
music and listening to it, Skyler. Have you got? Looks it seems to me you've got no one particular style that you go for music-wise. Sometimes you do something way. Sometimes it's kind of. Is that where you're coming from? Kind of like you don't pigeonhole yourself into one style. You embrace all kinds of different types of music. That's how it seems.
I mean, why should we? Right?
Mm.
It's
It's true.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's
it's
true.
it's 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 12 notes. Those 12 notes, you have many genres from that 12 notes, right? I
Yep.
I love all music, man. I love it all. I
Yeah.
love all kind of different instruments. You
Mm.
know, I
I can
I'm
tell you.
interested in music that I haven't never heard yet, right?
Mm.
And we got a term back home. It's called gumbo. It's where you put sausages in there, you put chicken in there,
Real
you putting
mix.
all
But
these
yeah.
you put
Yes.
all the yes. It's a dish that's in New Orleans, right? And that's what
Mm.
life is, right? I mean, you don't just cook one type of food. You know,
No.
you can't eat chicken every day, right?
No.
You know what I mean?
It's good
So,
to experiment, isn't it? Like you
That's
say,
true.
because if you don't experiment, how are you going to know whether you like it or not?
well, not only that, if you look at chefs, chefs will be trying. I'm gonna put some pepper in it today.
Yes.
I'll
Right.
put
That's
some
true.
carrots
It
in.
is.
So,
Yeah.
It's good
and
to try.
yeah, I mean that's beautiful to me. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
You've also
yeah,
got a
yeah,
phenomenal hat collection, Skylar. I've just got to say this. I mean,
yes. And
I'm a lover
bandanas.
of hats myself, and you've always got a colourful bandana on
Yeah.
or an amazing hat. So, how many hats have you got in your collection?
Oh man, I got
Well, you
bags
got
full
lots,
of.
Skylar. How much do you use for hats?
And you know what the trippy thing is, I still have my hair, and I'll be 66 like next month, and I still have my hair. But I've always dug hats. My grandfather used to wear hats, and he was the coolest dude in his hats, right? So I enjoy it. I might even have a hat store one day. Just like it's so cool. Yeah, man, I love it.
So how many have you got altogether, Skyler hats?
Any idea?
Have you ever counted them?
Probably 200 or something like that.
Wow.
Wow, 200. Are they all different colours?
Yeah, you seem to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If I see something interesting, I just grab it, right?
Have you got one particular favourite one, though, Skyler? Out of all of those 200 hats, is there one particular favourite that you've got?
Not really. I mean,
No?
Do you know what? If I know you, Skylar, I would say that most of them tell a story. I'm sure there's a story behind where you got them, who you were with, what you were doing. I'm sure they all tell a story for you. I'm sure.
And I like to grab them from different countries and stuff.
Yes.
I love fashion.
Yeah.
I love fashion. I love clothes, man. And the trippy thing is, my wife's a fashion pretty much designer kind of person. She makes all my clothes for stage and all that stuff like that, and I really love it. You know what I mean? Oh yeah,
because that's also Cecily's just started making those fabric little
felting. It's felting.
That's it. She just started doing felting on Etsy, and she does like the unicorns and all sorts of things, doesn't she? And they're beautiful because she sent me the link.
Yeah,
she's very talented and artistic, isn't she, and creative.
It's really wonderful because this is something you'll have for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I mean, she's amazing. Every time I think I saw everything that she could do, she comes up with something else, man. It's just like amazing, right? No, she's amazing. I mean,
she's amazing, like you.
We moved here from the Napa Valley, which is in the wine country, and I came home one day. She had got all this. She's out there building the chicken coop, right? And what? I wouldn't know what to do, right? So she's out there drilling, and I said, "What?" She said, "Skyler, it's not that bit. It's not. That's the wrong one." I said, "Don't ever tell nobody that I don't know what I'm doing with a hammer or something." Yeah, I mean, she builds stuff all the time. I mean, she's just amazing, right?
She is amazing. And she's got a heart of pure gold like you. She's a beautiful angel, and she's very talented like you as well. And she's very creative, isn't she? With all of that artwork that she does. She does paintings as well, doesn't she? All of her artwork.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Paintings. She builds stuff. Because she was a stage and costume designer for plays, right?
Right.
And yeah, man, she's amazing. She can build a whole set for you and stuff like that. Just like
Wow.
I love people like that.
Yes.
My poor son. His mom's an artist and his dad's a musician. Poor guy.
He's got a great background.
He certainly
already
has.
there with you guys,
And also, an inspiration to inspire them, to be more creative as well. Which I think they must have a wonderful upbringing with both of you as parents, because all of the things that you get involved in. It's just beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, my life has been just recently, within the last month, I had this young man call me. You can get in touch with me on Facebook, and he says, "I did the DNA, and I believe that you're my father." Wow. And I was like, what? And it turns out, he's from Canada, and I used to live in Canada 44 years ago, right? But I still didn't want to believe it until he did the DNA thing, right? And it's wonderful because he's found his father after 44 years, and I found a son that I never knew after 46.
Yeah.
And he just got
very emotional for you, Skyler, as well. After 44 years being in contact, I believe that Ryan just got married yesterday. Congratulations, Ryan!
Yes.
And he's now joining the team, isn't he? Music for Global Change with us.
He's joining the team to handle our media.
And the side as well.
And the cool thing about it, I sent my daughter what he wrote to me about being my son, and I sent it to my daughter. And she wrote it. She wrote him right away.
Did she? She's really excited.
Right? And so they start talking, and then she goes, "Now I got to introduce you to my sister, right?"
Oh.
And then he gets in touch with Skyler, right? and they're all talking, and they're like, "We got a big brother now." It's like it's wow. It's
Oh,
just
that's beautiful.
it's really love. It's all love. It's beautiful, man. So, but
You'll be meeting him soon, Skyler, isn't he? He's going to come over to the UK. So we can't wait to meet him, can we?
Yeah, great.
yeah, well, I got to get none of my kids have been here, right? And I got to get them on this side. But then you know you had the pandemic happen. They
Yeah.
wanted to come, but then the pandemic and stuff like that. So I'm going. Wow, that picture right there, guys. I've been looking for.
Have you?
Brian, do you have that picture?
I've got it, Skylar. I was the one who sent it.
Oh, send that to me. That you
I
know.
will do.
What's the story
Oh my
behind
God.
Tell us the story behind that one.
Yes, please.
I was just messing around on stage at Soundcheck there, and I was playing with Pedro. You guys know Pedro from Black Mamba.
Oh, yes, we interviewed Pedro, didn't we?
Yeah. And I was up there playing, and the saxophone player came over when I was playing this tune, which I wrote years ago, but I never finished, right? And he comes over, he said, "Skyler, what's that?" I said, "Oh, man, it's a song or two." He said, "Man, I'm doing my album right now. Can I do that song?" I said, "Why not, man?" And he wind up doing the song, and then he asked me to come back to Portugal and do another one with him. And you know, I've been writing dance tunes too. I got a beautiful dance tune I'm gonna send you guys called "Dance Like I'm Losing My Mind."
Yeah,
Right?
we saw the poster for that one earlier.
Yes, we did actually, didn't we? Yes.
Yeah, it's so cool. I got this idea to have dancers from all over the world just dance with their phone, you know, film themselves dancing, you know, different countries and stuff like that. And it really turned out cool, man, having all these dancers from different countries and it, you know, music's fun. Like I said, it's not for somebody, it's for everybody, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
And I think it's wonderful, you know, that you've got lots of people together in music videos. You've got another one of your songs, Skylar, actually, haven't you? Where you're going to do the same and get people singing verses of that song. Remember you mentioned
Music-
previously to that.
Music can save the world. I'm
That's it,
gonna
music
do it
can save
like
the world.
music can save the world. I'm gonna do it like a We Are the World kind of concept, where I have different stars come in and sing one or two lines, and then I'm gonna have a big kids choir singing on the choruses, right? And
That'd be
have
amazing.
children every age, right? Every nationality singing on this song, right? And we're gonna take that song and I'll raise money to do our festivals with it. Yeah, social conscious music festivals.
And also perform it at the festival, Skylar. What do you reckon? I think that'd be really good.
You guys already signed up. What are you talking about?
We're going to be up there starting our stuff, aren't we? We're going to be having a nice little sing song.
Yeah.
We'll get jamming with you, Skylar, won't we?
It's going to be so much fun because I want the stage to be packed. You know what I mean? Just full of people singing and having fun. You know, like we have my friend on that where he has this thing where they sing around the world. Remember that? The Positive Music Association.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Brother Johnson, and so I want to connect it to that too because that's wonderful that you know they take one day and they have all these people singing from different countries.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of fun. You know, it brings people together. You know,
and I think we're really fortunate now with the internet, aren't we? You know, and social media and you know LinkedIn as well, and then obviously you've got Messenger, you've got WhatsApp, and we can connect to people all over the world. We're truly, you know, blessed, aren't we?
Well, when you think about yourself, Skyler, even during the pandemic, you know yourself, artists and yourself were able to do music.
Yes.
During the pandemic over Zoom and all these different platforms, just without even having to be there, you can make music together as artists. You know, just through kind of those platforms.
Which is so true. Yeah.
And like I said, let's keep building on music for global change. We just really.
Sky, sorry to interrupt. How can people get involved? You know, supporting us with this mission. For everyone that's watching us live this evening, how can they, you know, get involved with supporting us or becoming an ambassador? You know, for music for global change. Please, can you explain how they can get involved?
They can email us. You know. Music for Global Change at Gmail. Then Music for Global Change has an email too. But our Facebook page that we
Yeah.
have, right?
If they search
Yes.
for Music for Global Change on Facebook, they can join the group, couldn't
Yeah.
they?
Yes, for
And
Insta.
I think Deborah, you hooked us up with an Instagram kind of thing, right?
Yes, we're on Instagram as well, and we update, our weekly shows. We're on YouTube as well, so all of our
Yeah,
shows are actually placed on YouTube, aren't they, Skylar?
Yeah.
So people can have access
yeah,
to the world and
yeah,
get involved. Also, Skylar does have a website which is www.musicforglobalchange.com, and you can actually
yeah.
go on there as well. We're in the midst of getting it all updated. Ryan's going to be doing it, so we'll be adding our weekly shows on there as well. And even if you would like to come on the show and be interviewed and talk about music for global change, we would love to hear from you, wouldn't we, Skylar? If it,
We would. I mean, we just need to make this go viral,
yes,
so that we can create this genre of social conscious music, where people can go and listen to songs that can heal and educate and solve problems, right?
Yeah.
yes,
And to use it to pass it on to other people to change their lives as well, right? I
Mm.
mean,
most definitely.
um, a lot of the kids, they write love songs, or they look what I'm wearing and all that kind of stuff like that. But find something that you could change in the world and write a song about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is so true, most definitely. Now, we are actually running out of time now, Skylar, as well. We want to just thank you so much for coming on the show, talking about music for global change. And, thank you to all of our wonderful viewers as well. And also our sponsor, Dip in the Pond Landscaping. If you need any landscaping, I can highly recommend our wonderful sponsor, AD. He's amazing at it as well.
That's right.
You can actually contact me if you want his details, but they are actually on social media as well, attached
Yeah,
to all of our posts as well. And also, if you would like to get in contact with Music for Global Change, you can do it via the website or
yeah.
email Skylar direct at, and what's your email address, Skylar, for them to contact you on, please?
Music for Global Change at Gmail, right? Or you can go to our Facebook page, because a lot of the people
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
Facebook
Facebook,
Yes.
search for Music for Global Change.
And you can actually follow
and,
us on there as well, and also
and,
Instagram,
and
and we'd love to hear from you. And also, if you're a budding young musician, we would also love to hear from you and inspire you to write social conscious songs
that's
that
right.
can make positive change to this world,
That's right.
and get involved in our movement. So we'd love to hear from you. And also,
Yeah.
we are running a songwriting competition for someone to actually write a social conscious song, and the winner will actually be invited live onto both shows to
Yeah.
perform live in front of the world and actually sing it as well. So all you've got to do is write a social conscious song all about positivity and how we can bring positive change to this world. And once you've written the song, please email it across to musicforglobalchange@gmail.com. So that's musicforglobalchange@gmail.com, or you can actually contact us via Facebook or Instagram, or through www.musicforglobalchange.com, and we'd love to hear from you. So
Yeah.
thank you
Well,
so much, Skylar.
it was a pleasure and an honor, and bless you for the invite. I
You're
really
welcome.
had a good time here. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you so
Yeah.
much, my London producers, Salima and Moinul, as well. And thank you to
Yeah.
each and every one of you too. And we will be back again in 2 weeks' time with another wonderful guest in the hot seat. And it's a surprise. I'm going to keep you guessing who's the next guest. But thank you.
Namaste.
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 And keep shining bright, Skylar. And we're really blessed to support you on your wonderful mission with music for global change.
I love you guys. Thank you so
We
much.
love you too. God bless you.
Thanks, Skylar.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye for now.
Okay.
Thank you. And thank you once again to each and every one of you. We're truly grateful for everything that you do. And don't forget to shine bright, and you can make a difference in this world. And, be that star that you are, because each and every one of you are stars. So shine bright, a little bit more brighter, and think of those less fortunate than themselves, and spread a little happiness and kindness in this world. We can change this world with positivity, love, and peace and harmony. Thank you so much, and we'll see you once again in 2 weeks' time.
See you again
Bye
soon.
for myself,
Take
Deborah
care.
Fennella, and
Tom Bryant. Cheerio.
thank you very much. Bye.